Hey, welcome back to Weekly Recess. We are almost halfway through the regular season, guys. That is just bizarre to me. We're going to be talking about Week 8 games. Nuts. That's insane. But it's Mitchell Lea, it's Connor VanDemark, it's Tommy Grant. It's not Brandon 2. Brandon 2's out going to like Wednesday weddings, and yeah, I don't know who has their wedding on a Wednesday, but you know what? Props to you. You probably saved some money.
To be fair, I'm going to a wedding in 2 weeks on a Thursday.
Okay. Thursday, I can understand.
That's like Wednesday. The gray area of it's still a shit day, but like it's at least close enough to the weekend. Like,
yeah,
you could just say, "Well, I'm going to take Friday off and have a long weekend."
Well, this
exactly.
There is no long weekend. It's destination wedding, so I'm out for the whole week. Well, I'll be in Dominican Republic.
I guess that's more understandable then, because you're already going on vacation anyway, essentially. So you're going to be off.
See ya.
But to those people that are wedding planning like yourself, Mitchell, don't be a dick to your guests. Don't have a Wednesday wedding. Have a goddamn Friday or Saturday wedding like normal people.
Wedding on a Saturday, and we're not going to like the Philippines, you know? Like we're just regular old close by wedding. Speaking of things that are close by, the Jets impending doom. If we're not here already,
impending, it's been happening.
Yeah. Well,
the harder part of that statement for me is the fact that the Dolphins are still one game ahead, and
one game is against the Jets.
As personally a Jets hater, because they're my natural enemy to both the Dolphins and the Bills. I think the Jets are a better team than the Dolphins this season.
That incorrect information, sir. I think the only team that can realistically have that argument is the Tennessee Titans.
I'm talking out of just
your ass,
like the AFC East in terms of that. I think the Dolphins are worse than the Jets, and I think that'll eventually show.
We will talk about the Dolphins here in a minute, but we'll start Panthers 13, Jets 6. This was another game where the Jets defense played pretty well. Jets special teams played pretty well. Jets offense, second straight week without a touchdown. I don't know if you and the Jets are aware of this, but the goal of the game is to score points, and touchdowns are the primary way to get that done. So you're not going to win too many games when you do that. Obviously, missing Garrett Wilson was going to put a limit on what this offense could do in general. But the team completely abandoned the run game in the second half once they went to Tyrod Taylor. And there were opportunities there, but Tyrod Taylor underthrew a few deep balls. J.C. Horn made some great plays. And it was just a very unexciting football game. Even Panthers fans, I imagine, you leave that game and you're like, sure. I mean, we won. Bryce Young got hurt. Yeah, no one left that game feeling good. And then Woody Johnson goes and basically blames the whole thing on Justin Fields in a press conference today, which, look, I get it. Justin Fields has definitely not been part of the solution. But for the owner to come and just kind of publicly drag one player like that, as much as I, a lowly dumbass with no stakes in the team, can say something like that, you're the owner of the team and probably shouldn't be saying things like that.
The other thing, too, is like, no, I am the first to say, like, I'm not a Woody Johnson fan. Like, just in general. Then that, like, football and unfootball for later reasons. But, like, as a fan of this team, having your owner trashing a player does not bode well for more players to come to your team, because who wants that in the media? And, like,
correct.
It is a situation where, like, it hurts. It hurts.
It's one of those situations where it's like, Justin Fields, how do you go and perform for this team now? Like, if Tyrod were to get hurt, because it looks like the Jets have made the switch. They're going to Tyrod Taylor. Like, I don't know if the Jets can go back to Justin Fields now. Like, if Tyrod gets hurt or doesn't work out, you got to go to like Brady Cook. And look, this season is already cooked, so you might as well go to Cook. But I wonder how many players get traded in the next few weeks. I know there's been rumors about Brees. There's been rumors about Jermaine Johnson and Quincy Williams and Michael Carter. And I certainly wouldn't want Jermaine Johnson to get traded. I think he's someone that you keep around. But any of the other guys, like Brees, I almost feel like there's no chance that he's on the team in 2 weeks.
No.
Because I don't think they're going to extend him. I don't know. I don't think he would want to come back. So you might as well try and get something for him. And at what point are you just creating more holes for yourself in the offseason? Because as a fan of a team that is likely to be picking very high and looking at quarterbacks, it's a fun weekend to watch college football. Fernando Mendoza played really well. Ty Simpson's probably my guy right now. Loved watching him play against Tennessee. But at what point are all of these people that you could be trading away just making things more difficult on whatever quarterback that you're bringing in? Yep. And are you bringing that quarterback into a situation where you have basically a lame duck head coach that you wouldn't fire just because you don't want the reputation of a guy going one and done? Because we've seen so many guys recently go into, I mean, we just saw it with Cam Ward. He got
great transition.
5-6 games into his rookie season before they fired the quarterback or the coach. Caleb Williams got a season in, new coach. Trevor Lawrence a season in, new coach. Bryce Young had his coach fired early on. Just so many top picks recently have come into very unstable situations. And I feel like as much as you might want to not hurt the reputation of the team, you're the New York fucking Jets. You've gone 15 years since missing the playoffs. What more hurting reputation could you possibly have? You could attract a good head coach with a lot of cap space and the number 1 overall pick. That's a desirable job there. And there's only 32 of these jobs. And if you have those, then if you're picking number 1 overall, I don't see how you bring Aaron Glenn back. I just don't.
I don't blame you.
And you had another situation where it wasn't quite as embarrassing, but late in the second quarter, again, don't throw a Hail Mary. You just let the clock run out. And we've seen much worse recently, but it's just more of the same. And as a longtime Jets fan that gets really excited for this stuff and loves talking about it, and like half of my wardrobe is Jets-related stuff, it's really, really disheartening that it is October 21st, and I'm already long done with this season. And I'm just like, let's just sim through the rest of this thing. Please, let's just get to the next quarterback, and we're doing this again. Thanks, guys.
We already know Woody Johnson's simming this season already, so.
Yeah. Woody Johnson's looking at quarterbacks, and hey, Woody, maybe just let the professionals give their opinion rather than
not do it on Madden.
Yeah, exactly. Not go with the one with the highest Madden rating. We might end up with like Lenora Sellers or something, which is just Anthony Richardson 2.0. Tommy.
Yes,
the Dolphins have a legitimate case to be considered one of the worst, maybe the worst team in the NFL as well, because when you lose by 25 to the Cleveland Browns, when you lose by 25 to Dylan Gabriel, that is a problem. Mike McDaniel press conferences every week are getting more and more hilarious. This guy knows that he is a dead man walking.
Look,
he said
the fact that they let him and Tua onto the plane home shocks me.
Yeah, I thought it might have to be like, all right, you two fight, and whoever survives gets the seat on the plane.
Because to Connor's point last week, the rain is definitely the factor. And when you have a quarterback like Tua, who's at this point very bipolar with how he plays, he either plays fairly well at this point or he's just completely shit. And this was one of those games. where he was just completely shit because he was the one who lost this game. Because Achane pulled his weight as best he could. The throwing game was just absolutely just dog shit garbage.
The defense did a lot better than I would have expected. I mean, they held Judkins under 3.5 yards a carry. He had 3 touchdowns, but he really wasn't doing too much on a play. If you take out a 46-yard run, he had 24 carries for 38 yards.
Yeah, good for him.
Good defense by the Dolphins, which is not what you would use. Now, granted, Devon Achane also had a 46-yard run, but if you take that out, he still had an okay day. So, yeah, what I thought was really funny was before this game, they demoted Zach Wilson to QB3 and made the rookie from Texas, Quinn Ewers, the backup quarterback. So when Tua got benched in this game, it was Ewers that went in. And he tried his best to throw interceptions just like Tua. It's like he learned from Tua and Zach Wilson how to turn the ball over just like Tua. And he did his best, but maybe it was just too rainy. The ball was too slippery. And he came out of that game as unscathed as he could. But it looks like Tua is going to keep the starting job. Mike McDaniel said the expectation is for him to not throw 10 picks. His words, not mine.
Yeah. I saw the press conference after, and you know what? If that's your expectation, you should be fired as a head coach. Like, I'm sorry, like that.
You should be fired as starting quarterback too.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, in terms of firing head coaches, like, if that's the precedent you're going to set for a team of, hey, let's just not have 10 picks this game, what the fuck are you doing? Like, get a new quarterback or get a new head coach. Get something new in there because, my God, it is awful. Like, that was just not the team to just get rolled over on. So I've given up on the Dolphins this season. I don't see any redemption in sight for that team, especially this season with who they've got coming up. Granted, the Ravens might be a possible close game with how they've been doing, but
they're getting Lamar back.
Well, assuming that if he's back by that game, which is in 2 weeks, maybe. But they got the Falcons, Ravens, Bills, Commanders, Saints, the Jets. The Jets, that'll be an interesting game. Who's going to fuck up more in that one? But it's just I just don't see any redemption in sight for that team. So that's
the redemption may come against the Jets. I'm hoping that it does because I'm at the point where I'm rooting for losses with the Jets, man. I just want it to be as bad as it can be. The mess has to be big enough for people to notice. I don't know.
Yeah.
Other than that, I thought that this week was a pretty piss poor week of football, to be honest. A lot of blowouts, a lot of bad games. The Thursday night football game was definitely not one of them. That was one of the better games of the season so far. Of course, with two of the old heads playing quarterback with Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers. But
I enjoyed watching that though. Like it made a good meme, having the two old man quarterbacks going back and forth, but it was still fun to watch.
It was fun to, and I love watching Thursday night football because Amazon has their Prime Vision, and I just like watching football that way. And it was so much fun to watch Jamar Chase and just how quickly he would get open on basically every play, to the point where Joe Flacco is like, look, I've got the play that's called. I know where I'm supposed to be looking, but if they're going to give Jamar Chase 7 yards, I'm throwing that every single time because they just don't want Jamar Chase to beat them deep. And so he's going to be open on the in-breaking routes, the quick slants, every single time. And he took advantage of that. And I just had a lot of fun watching the best receiver in the National Football League go to work. Connor, what was your biggest takeaway from this week?
I have to say, the Giants might be good.
Oh, that was another great football game.
That was a great game. And, like, yeah, they that sucks to lose that game, too, after, like...
Until the fourth quarter.
I was going to say, I don't know if the Giants are good. Left. I don't know if the Giants are good or if Jackson Dart is. Because Jackson Dart played really well, but that secondary is rough. The defensive play call, the play calling in general was struggling late for the Giants.
Like, in all fairness though, like what's real, Bo Nix did nothing for 3 quarters.
Yeah, but then he had the second highest scoring quarter in the history of the league.
I know that, but like, yeah, things collapsed. But like, there's a future for them, and like, yeah, it's not going to come around this year.
Yeah,
I think there's like,
you did all that Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, but like, even then, like, you're able to put up these points without Malik Neighbors. Like, It's just your team is going to be better in the future, and like, I think that they are a very competitive team against a good Broncos defense.
And I said it last week. I think Dart and Scadaboo have just brought some life back into the Giants. I mean, Scadaboo, he's got as much brain cells as to it at this point. I mean, but the passion is there. I mean, they are hyped up. They're, getting the fan base excited. Even with the loss, I mean, it was still a phenomenal game. And the defense is what lost that game, because you let 33 points in one quarter. I mean, like, the defense fell apart. Like, I don't even know how to describe that or explain what happened, because it was ugly. But up until that point, it was a great game of just Dart being a good quarterback.
Yep.
I have to give some respect to what Bo Nix did at the end of that football game, because Bo Nix is a gamer. I know we always attribute that to Baker Mayfield, but Bo Nix, I mean, they were down 18 in the fourth against the Philadelphia Eagles. They were down by 19 in the fourth against the Giants, and yet Bo Nix finds a way. I'm sure that Broncos fans would love for him to bring that same energy for the first half of games and make things a little bit more complete, and maybe be closing things out in the fourth rather than have to have these, manic comebacks. But Bo Nix is a quarterback that you're never really out of the football game as long as he just keeps on chucking that thing downfield. And I've got to show him respect. I also don't know exactly what Brian Daboll's future is in New York, because while the quarterback has shown a lot of really encouraging signs, a game losing it like that is going to make the front office think, okay, so we're just a better play caller and decision maker at the coaching position away from really unlocking what this guy can do. Yeah. Because, I mean, they bungled the end of that game. They had a chance to, because Dart did throw a bad interception late in the fourth quarter that really,
that turned things.
I don't want to say set this whole thing in motion, but made it from, that'd be cool if, to, oh, this could happen.
Yeah.
But if they just run the ball there, unless you give up like an 80-yard touchdown on the first or second play, you're almost forcing the game into an onside kick situation, because the Broncos were going to call their final timeout after that. They had been calling their timeouts. They were down to one timeout. Throwing there does nothing for you.
And at minimum, that is a 10-point swing in the Broncos' favor if the Giants get the field goal, like at the very least. But making that kind of play where like the corner was just sitting on it too, and he jumped that route and just made a great play himself.
It was a talented defense, and eventually they were going to get one on this rookie quarterback, and it just happened at the worst possible moment for him. My big takeaway is, and I don't know if you guys are necessarily the people that I need to be saying this to, but just the general you guys got to start taking the Colts seriously. It's time. Yeah, it's time. Cool. They've got the best record in football. I saw a stat the other day that blew my mind. Now, granted, we are only 7 games into the season, so this thing could completely fall flat, or at the very least, and it probably will.
I wonder if the same stat that I saw.
the most points per drive for the last, I think, 25 years of football.
Yeah, they're second. They're second in history behind the 07 Patriots.
No, the stat I saw had them comfortably in front of the 07 Patriots.
Oh, were they comfortably in? I heard it from different podcasts. I remember that they were talking to 07 Patriots like those two teams were insane, or that team was insane, and that the Colts are keeping up with that.
Most points per drive this century. In third place, it's the 2018 Chiefs, the first year with Mahomes when it was the light show with Tyreek Hill, 3.08. In second place is the 07 Patriots, and that was the undefeated Randy Moss, Tom Brady, 3.14.
Undefeated.
And in first place is Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor with 3.46.
That's insane.
Which is, again, that's a 0.32 is massive when it comes to that. And those are the best offenses that we've seen in our lifetime. And Daniel Jones, who people were saying, oh, the Colts are clearly tanking for Arch Manning by putting Daniel Jones in there. Clearly they have bigger plans. No, their plans were to win football games this year, and they have been doing that to an insane degree. If Adonai Mitchell had 5 brain cells, they might be 7-0 this year.
Yep.
And I think that not only do we need to take Daniel Jones and his success incredibly seriously, but I know that the Offensive Player of the Year conversation has been a heated one on this podcast. Last week, Bijan Robinson was the one we were giving a lot of hype to. In the past, it had been Puka, maybe Jackson Smith and Jigba getting some of that hype. But Jonathan Taylor has been a touchdown machine for the Indianapolis Colts. And as good as Daniel Jones and that offense have been, the run game is really the thing that gets them going. And Jonathan Taylor is first in rushing yards and first in rushing touchdowns, as he has 697 rushing yards, 5.3 yards a carry, and 10 rushing touchdowns. Pretty sure that's more than the New York Jets have all season. That's definitely more than the Jets have had in the last few weeks, as he had 3 last week, and the Jets haven't had any in the last 2 weeks. The Colts offense has been an unstoppable machine, and a lot of people were curious as to what they would look like against a formidable opponent. The Chargers offense may be injured, but the Chargers defense has been pretty good. They got Khalil Mack back, and they just keep on going. And they play the Titans again this week. So It's just going to keep on going. And as they get to 6-1, and Jacksonville in their division.
I want to bring up one other team to you, and I want to get your opinion on this. Because to me, I think it's alarm bells going off to me, even though the record says otherwise.
I think I know where you're going.
Green Bay Packers?
Oh, no, that's not where I thought. I thought you were going to go with Washington. But
Washington didn't have the injury, but like the Packers to me are a team where I think that like they had a good start to the season, but like their last couple games have been like, what's been going on with them? Like the Bengals, like they beat the Bengals, by 9, but what like you expect a more dominant performance from them. And same with the Cardinals. Like, are they a team that's just going to win just by 1-score games majority of the time, or like are they actually going to like I really have I expect them to spread away from the pack a little more, and I don't think they have yet.
Last week I went
that was a Cardinals team that was very middling too.
Yeah, the Cardinals aren't very good, but I weirdly think that the play of Jacoby Brissett lately has had them like, I don't know, they've been moving the ball more. Like Trey McBride had a fantastic game, and it just feels like they had more of a downfield passing attack last week than they had. And I think that the Packers very clearly have cornerback issues. Mm-hmm. You can beat them on the outside, and that's why I'm curious to see, like, I know that the Eagles haven't really been the biggest passing team, but Jalen Hurts and company looked great throwing the ball against Minnesota.
Yeah.
I want to see if the Eagles take on more of that approach against Green Bay, because you can beat them on the outside. If you've got talented wide receivers, they can make plays against these corners. I'm weirdly and strangely enough, the same thing for the defense, because the Packers don't really have any dominant wide receivers. They have good players, but no one that really you have to game plan for.
Yeah.
I'm weirdly not worried about the Packers as far as like getting into the playoffs, that kind of thing. I still like their defense, but
they give me.
I do think that there is a reason to.
Yeah, the middling aspect, like a first round exit. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and when you make a trade for someone like Micah Parsons, you give up the draft capital that they did. You're definitely pushing all of your chips into the middle of the table and saying we think we can get to the Super Bowl this year, maybe win the thing. And if they are a team that goes to the playoffs, loses round one, that's not going to meet those expectations at all, and people aren't going to be happy. I'm weirdly not worried about the Packers right now. I think that this is a team that, because they're about to get Jaden Reed and Christian Watson back, they've had some offensive line injuries this year. I think the Packers are going to be just fine. For them, it's a matter of winning that division and avoiding playing, because in the NFC, there is no weak, like, oh, we get to go play like an 8-9 team.
Yeah.
In the wild card round that just happens to be hosting a game because they won their division. They're going to be playing either Philly, they would be playing Detroit, they would be playing Tampa, or they would be playing one of the three really good NFC West teams. So there's no cupcake.
And that division is it's a grind in the first place. You have no team under 500.
Yeah. So the Packers' biggest concern for me right now is whoever, and it's honestly the same thing in the NFC West, is whoever can just win that division and get home field in whatever wild card game. Because I don't know who's going to win the NFC or get the bye in the NFC. That's going to be a grind in and of itself. And hey, it might just be Tampa because the rest of Tampa's division is pretty weak. And every other division, like Philly's got to go through. I know Washington's been kind of weak, but they are still a team that made the NFC Championship game last year. You've already lost one to the Giants, and the Cowboys are, Dak's playing some of the best football that we've seen from him so far.
Yep.
He's been great. And then in the West, Stafford throwing 5 touchdowns against the Jaguars. They looked, I would say they looked dominant, but I also think that Jacksonville just looked like the wheels on the bus come crashing down. A horrible game for Jacksonville. The Niners, it doesn't matter who gets hurt. They just find a way to win. They find a way to win football games. And the Seahawks, Darnold didn't have one of his best games against Houston. He had some turnovers. The offensive line had some struggles, but at the same time, the defense locked down. They made CJ Stroud look really bad. And it's going to be a fight to the finish for all three of those teams. Sorry, Arizona, it is what it is. You're kind of used to it at this point, though. So now the NFC's, and let's not count out Chicago either.
Yep.
I mean, they definitely made their game against the Saints a little bit harder than maybe they needed to. Caleb Williams certainly didn't play well, but the Bears might have found a run game. And that's kind of something.
The case. That's scary.
That's something we have all just been operating on, like, oh, well, Caleb Williams is going to have to throw the ball like 40 times a game, and DeAndre Swift's going to, not really contribute too much. But the last 2 games, it's been the DeAndre Swift show, and Caleb's had trouble keeping up.
They have a pretty cushy schedule coming up. No, in my opinion, like Ravens if Lamar's not there, and then Bengals. We'll see with Flacco, but that could be in a game where their O-line is not great. And then maybe not then, because you have the Bengals. A lot of question mark games. Bengals, Giants, Vikings. Yeah. Like they're going to be an interesting team to watch in the next 4 weeks.
Yeah, the Bears, and no one talking about 4-game winning streak. 4-game win streak for the Bears, and they've scored over 25 points in each of those games. So the offense has been going. Just in the last couple games, not in the way that you would have expected them to go, because DeAndre Swift really was an afterthought when it comes to this Bears offense. I wanted to ask about the big game of the week was Bucs-Lions. And personally, I didn't really enjoy watching that football game. I don't really think anyone except for maybe Jahmyr Gibbs brought their best. Tampa's beat up. Bucky Irving out. Mike Evans might miss the rest of the season.
Yep.
Yeah,
that was I think he broke his collarbone, and he had there was the reporting for that injury was all over the place. It was like, well, he had a concussion and a shoulder injury, but actually it's like a fibula injury. No, actually it's a collarbone. But regardless, it didn't look good.
Ibuka's been banged up with his hamstring too, and
Ibuka's been injured. Godwin is, I don't know how much he has left after all the lower body injuries that he's had. They are getting Jalen McMillan back soon, so at least there's that. Yeah, and the Lions, it was like, all right, the passing game, it just felt like the Lions did just enough to win that game, kind of like the Packers, where the Packers, it had felt like they were doing just enough to win the game, but nothing really more than that.
Mm-hmm. The Lions, but the Packers was at least a close game. I mean, the Bucs, it was just they were struggling just to put points on the board.
Yeah, it wasn't one of. It's definitely the worst game that Baker's played so far this season.
But I'm not worried though. Like again, there's so many pieces hurt in that team that if this was a full healthy Buccaneers team, then I'd be worried. But
9 points would be concerning.
Get healthy, win your division, and then go make the playoffs. That's their main thing.
With how bad that division is, and I'm sorry, Carolina, that is the most fraudulent 4-3 I've ever seen. I don't buy it for a second. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but 2 of your last 3 wins have been Dolphins and Jets, and they weren't necessarily convincing wins. Your next 2 games are Buffalo and Green Bay. If you win either of those 2 games, I will come back and reevaluate. But they also have a pretty tough remaining schedule. Yes, they do have 2 games against the Saints, but it's Bills, Packers, Saints, Falcons, 49ers, Rams, Saints, Buccaneers, Seahawks, Buccaneers. So I think there's a lot of losses ahead. I didn't watch that game and go, Bryce Young sucks, but I didn't watch that game and go, Bryce Young really impressed me. And Michael Penix. The Michael Penix roller coaster, I think lately it's seen more downs than ups. That game against San Francisco was just truly brutal. Mm-hmm. That offense really goes as Bijan goes. And I think that there'll be a team that makes for some fun games this year, but I don't think they're a playoff team. So as long as as long as Baker stays healthy, I think Tampa wins that division.
That's the big question.
I don't have too much more.
Yep.
I will say one more thing before we get to the games, because I hate that I have to say this. It makes me angry, but I also have enjoyed watching him play football so much. I just wish he was in a different jersey. I think if I had to give an MVP vote right now, I'd have a hard time giving it to someone not named Drake May. Drake May's playing some damn good football right now. He is throwing the piss out of this football.
Yes, he is. It's also, he just beat the Titans.
Oh, I know. But it's not like...
He's in the conversation, but
Oh yeah, no, it's him, Baker, Mahomes, Daniel Jones. If you want to throw Stafford or Dak in there, go for it. Like it's by no means a runaway, but Drake May's just playing really good football with not a lot around him.
Yes, and I will push back a little bit. Let's see when the schedule gets a little tougher. Like honestly, it's not,
that was the one thing about the Patriots coming into the season is that their schedule.
There's not much there.
No, their next game's the Browns.
Yeah, so. Which I think it would be at least a test. But like there are 4 wins against the Dolphins. The 5 wins: Dolphins, Panthers, Saints, Titans, and the only notable one is the Bills. Which, hey, don't get me wrong, to credit, they beat the Bills.
Yeah, but I mean, they also did lose to the Raiders.
Yes. So
which is sadly shut down this week, which was pretty comical.
I think that the Kenny Pickett era in Las Vegas may be beginning. I don't know how much more you can play Geno, man. He's been atrocious.
He's been bad. But the rest of the schedule is very cushy. But no, I think the Giant game is very interesting against them.
Yeah, that could be a fun one. And I would like to see how that game against Tampa goes.
Yes. So,
but they also have 2 games against the Jets, which won't be fun for anyone wearing green that day. But let's go to Week 8 now. This is, I'll be honest with you, I don't know how much football I'm going to watch on Sunday. This is a horrible slate of games, which means it's going to.
With your TV setup, I feel like you're still going to be watching a lot of football.
Oh, I will be. I know I'm just talking out of my ass right now. And also, let's be honest, whenever, college football, the week where, there's no ranked teams playing each other this week, that's the week where chaos ensues. That's the week where you got the 2-win team that beats the undefeated team for no reason at all. Whenever it's a quiet week, whenever there's not a huge, big game, that's when bizarre things happen and games are fun. So that may be what we're looking at in Week 8. The Thursday night game could be decent. We've got the Minnesota Vikings at the Los Angeles Chargers. It looks like Carson Wentz is going to get another start. Been very up and down for Carson Wentz. I'd say more downs than ups. He's having a rough season. Yeah, but I still don't know if he's... They really don't want J.J. McCarthy rushing back into this thing. It might have just been a soft benching. I don't know. But this is a game where I wanted to take Minnesota because, man, the Chargers' offensive line against that Vikings defensive front could get rough. But I'm not picking Carson Wentz this week. I can't do it. Give me the Chargers, and I think the Vikings might cover the 3.5, though.
Yep, Chargers here, too.
We got Chargers all the way across the board. Brandon put his pick in for the Chargers as well.
By the way, there is it 12 or 13 games? There's 13 games this week. Over half of them have a spread of over 6.5.
Ugh.
So a lot of blowouts expected, and we're gonna start that conversation
now.
Yes, thank you, Tommy. Dolphins Falcons.
Another ugly game.
Falcons are favored by 7.5 in this one, and I'm sorry, I think Bijan might run for 250 yards. Give me the Falcons.
Thank you, Ty, for putting my thing before I even say anything.
Look, anyone who put Dolphins down this week is winning has something wrong in their mind, just like Tua. So, there, I said it.
Bears at Ravens. Now, the Ravens favored by 6.5 because the expectation is that Lamar Jackson will be playing in this game. And if Lamar Jackson is playing, I think the Ravens have a triumphant return, and they kind of put their foot down. They win and they cover. Give me Baltimore.
I know Brandon put Ravens as well. I didn't realize Lamar was expected to come back this week. No, I'm skeptical. I had originally put Bears down. I don't know if I want to change that or not.
I'm going Bears. Even with Lamar coming back, like this is his first game back, and I do think that Bears will pressure him.
Yeah, you know what, Connor, I'm gonna stick with my guns on this one. I'm gonna go the Bears.
All right.
All right.
Connor revived my confidence in the Bears.
Jets at Bengals. Bengals 6.5-point favorites, and things are going great when you're a 6.5-point dog to Joe Flacco in the year 2025. This is definitely one that it looks like Tyrod's going to play. I reserve my right to change this pick. If Garrett Wilson is playing in this game, I think the Jets win. If Garrett Wilson is not playing in this game, I do not think the Jets win. It is that simple. And I've heard conflicting reports, so I just want it on the record that I think the Jets can win this game if they've got their guy out there.
Then I'll give you until 12:59 p.m. on Sunday to
that's fine.
Officially retract your statement.
Bengals. If it's not Jamar Chase, it's going to be T. Higgins, and Flacco would get the ball to him. But Flacco's going to throw for 50 times.
Flacco revived my faith in the Bengals season, so I think the Bengals have this one. I thought we were rooting for Jets losses, Mitchell. So
I am. That's why I'm picking them to win.
The fact that the Bengals are still not out of the playoff race for their division is hysterical. Like.
I think they will.
It makes my Bengal pick at least look a little better now. Thank you for sucking at AFC North.
We've got another 7.5-point spread as the Buffalo Bills play the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, Vegas has a lot of faith in that 4-3 Panthers record, huh? Again, I feel like a doofus for just saying, well, I think the team that's favored by a lot will win by a lot. But I do. I think the Bills win, and they're coming off a bye. Yeah, give me Buffalo.
This is something that Buffalo needs a win. After the loss to the Falcons, it was a major blow. The loss to the Patriots was a major blow. They need to come off of the bye with a strong win, and I think the Panthers will give them that nice triumphant return.
Oh, I don't like this game at all. Like I agree with the statement of no cover for the Bills, and I think there's an upset alert on this one.
Wow. Okay.
The Bills
do you have the balls to do it?
Fuck it.
All right.
Are you putting cards down on the Panthers?
Putting cards down. I think so.
Right.
I think it's gonna be a Red Rocket game where Andy Dalton just because Andy Dalton and Xavier Legette are good with each other, and I think that it's gonna be Legette and even Tet just getting the ball a lot, and I just think they're gonna
Please
march
get
on
the
them.
ball to Tet. I'm starving over here in fantasy, man. He's a great player, but
Andy Dalton is not afraid to sling it, and he will. Like there will be some
sling
picks.
That thing. Are we sure that he's playing?
From what I've been seeing, it's a good chance. I'll double check right now.
Does your pick change if Bryce Young comes out of the tunnel?
Yes, because of the fact he's coming back from injury.
Okay, that's very fair.
If Bryce Young is starting, then it would be a different story. But yeah, Panthers QB Young likely out this week.
Now, what's your prediction on the score?
This is going to be I would say 25-23.
All right, so it's going to be a close one.
It's going to be a close one. I'll be wrong, but it's the Panthers. But I do think they're going to inch this one out.
I don't appreciate the bad voodoo being sent the Bills' way. So if something bad happens, I blame you.
Fine.
This is my other one.
I'm the one who's forecasting it.
Yeah. This is my other one where I reserve my right to change my pick based on injury. It's the 49ers and the Texans.
I don't get in front of you
Right now,
here.
the Texans...
Hold on, I'm getting in front of you. I don't know what you were going to say. 49ers.
Okay, see, right now I am picking the 49ers. The Texans are 1.5-point favorites. But if Nico Collins is playing, give me the Texans. I don't think he's going to play. But if he does play, give me the Texans.
I think it's going to be a CMC show all over Texans. CMC is just he is so damn good, and that's all they need. Please, also, one more thing, just for my own fantasy sake, Ricky Pearsall, please come back.
I'd love for Ayuk to come back, but I feel like that's not going to happen.
Yeah, at least Pearsall's a chance.
Yeah. Tommy?
I'm going 49ers on this one. I don't have faith in the Texans this week.
Very fair. Browns and Patriots. The Patriots 6.5-point home favorites. And again, I feel like a giant doofus, but give me the home big favorite to win by a lot of points. It is what it is, guys. I'm taking the Patriots. I love the way Drake May's playing right now. I don't think Dylan Gabriel's an NFL quarterback. Give me the Patriots.
I know Brandon and I are both taking Patriots as well. So, Connor, are you going to give another
upset? This is another one where I'm like, there's another one where I am tempted to pick the Browns, but I'm not going to do it here. I do think the Browns will keep this close.
Okay. So a cover, but not the whole thing. All right. Giants and Eagles. Again, these two playing each other after they just played like 2 weeks ago. This one in Philly. Eagles 7.5-point favorites. This is the one where I say I think that this is close. I just think the Giants are playing too well on offense right now. Although this could end up being a very common situation that we see with young teams that haven't really learned to win yet, where one close loss beats you 2 weeks in a row, and they just come out flat and the Eagles steamroll them. But I'll definitely take the Eagles to win, but I think the Giants cover. At the very least, I think the back door is wide open for
them. I'm on the fence with this one. I think that the Giants are going to ride the high, and I think there'd be no better way for the Giants to really make a statement this season than just to crush the Eagles 2 games in a row and to crush the Eagles at home. Like, they're gonna have to watch their asses leaving the stadium, but I think they're gonna come show up and really ruffle some feathers in the Eagles stadium. So I'm gonna go Giants.
Wow. Okay.
And Brandon is going Eagles.
Connor?
Giants. Thank you, Tommy.
Wow.
I chose for him.
He did.
Wow.
I think it's just going to be the Giants' defense again. That defense is for real though. Like, they play good football. They play well in the secondary. Like, I don't like. No, Jalen Hurts threw a lot in that game 2 weeks ago, and there was nothing much given to him. Unless they change the scheme up, then I don't know. They look good last week. Their passing attack. That's the real concern I have.
And the Eagles defense isn't that strong. And I mean, the Giants performed well against the Broncos, who are known to have a pretty good defense.
So I do think the Giants can put the points up. I think the Eagles put up like 25, but I think the Giants are just going to outscore them again.
Now, as long as the Giants defense doesn't completely just crumble and leave the game in the fourth quarter again.
Yeah, that's the stipulation.
Game.
All right. Next up, we've got the Buccaneers and the Saints. Buccaneers 3.5-point favorites. The Saints had some big injuries as well, most notably Eric McCoy, their best offensive lineman, out for the season now.
Also, Miller, too.
Kendre Miller out for the year as well.
He
so
was
Alvin Kamara. He was.
I'm upset about that because he just can't stay healthy, man. I don't know what God he pissed off, but he is cursed for life.
And Spencer Rattler had his first horrendous game of the year against Chicago. I'm going Tampa to win and to cover on the road. All big on favorites this week.
Bucks for me, too.
Bucks all the way across the board.
All right. Tennessee Titans and Indianapolis Colts. This is the biggest spread of the week. Colts favored by 14.5 points. And I think the Colts cover.
Oh, yeah. They're going to cover. Good teams.
I think
good teams win. Yeah. Great teams cover. They cover.
You saw the offensive stat line. They're playing better than the 07 Patriots were. And they're playing the fucking Titans. No, give me the Colts to win. Give me the Colts to cover.
I'm kind of surprised Brandon says it's not going to be a cover on this one. I'm curious on his thought process on that one.
No cover. Come on, cover. Anyone want to take the Titans?
Indiana Jones is here. No. They're going to win. There's no question about it.
All right. Maybe the game of the weekend, as far as I'm personally concerned, probably the one I'm looking forward most to watching, that being the Dallas Cowboys and the Denver Broncos. Broncos are 3.5-point favorites. This is one much like the Vikings and Chargers where I'm going to take the favorite to win. So I'll pick the Broncos, but I think that Dallas covers the 3.5. I think this is an extremely close football game.
Given that it's at home and the Cowboys offense is good, but I don't think it's good enough to really break down the Broncos defense. So I think it's going to be a pretty tight game. But
I would love to see.
I think the Broncos are going to come out on this one.
Now we've got Brandon Aubrey playing in Denver. So I think just being on the field is Dallas's field goal range. Could we get a 70-yarder in this game?
Oh yeah, it is in Denver. That would be awesome.
I want the record to go down this weekend.
Broncos for me, by the way.
Nice. Faith in Bo Nix. You just gotta believe. We're all on the Broncos except for Brandon.
Brandon's on his lonely little island.
Who does not believe, and that's a problem. This is a damn good game as well. Sunday Night Football, Aaron Rodgers against the Packers. It's not in Green Bay, but it is Packers, Steelers, Sunday night. I was tempted to go with Pittsburgh, but I think that the downfall of the Packers is coming. Give me the Packers to win. I'm staying the hell away from this game as far as a betting perspective goes.
This is going to be an up in the air game. I don't know. I
don't really want to bet on the Packers at the moment because Connor said it. They just kind of they haven't had the killer instinct to put away teams and really pull away from teams. So everything's close, and when you're playing a coach like Mike Tomlin, sometimes that can result in a loss.
I think it's the Steelers. Honestly, the what's the spread on this game again?
Packers by 3.5, and it's in Pittsburgh.
Cool. So Steelers being home dogs, I think that the Steelers is honestly Steelers being home for this game. I think that's what's pushed me over the edge.
Okay. No, that definitely makes sense. Mike Tomlin as a home underdog has been a historically good bet to make. Mm-hmm. And Brandon is also with you on Pittsburgh in that game. Monday Night Football. This would have seemed like a great game in August, but Commanders-Chiefs, it's not as interesting now. Don't know if Jaden Daniels is going to play. The Chiefs are 10.5-point favorites. And honestly, having watched the Commanders, even with Jaden Daniels lately, I think the Chiefs win. I think the Chiefs cover. I don't think this is going to be a close football game. I think you could say that about half of the games this week.
Chiefs
all the way. Mahomes is back, coming strong, and
Rashee Rice is back. Rice God
was the saving grace to my fantasy football team this week because the Dolphins just did not show up for shit. So I'm happy to have him on my team.
All right. Well, that wraps up Week 8 predictions as well as our Week 7 recap. Next week brings us, Vikings-Lions, maybe, depending on how that Thursday night game goes. If the Panthers beat Buffalo, then Panthers-Packers becomes a lot more interesting. Mm-hmm. Colts-Steelers could be a pretty good game. Broncos-Texans will be interesting.
I'm excited to watch Chiefs-Bills. That's going to be a bloody game.
I was getting to that, man.
Well, I was jumping ahead.
Yeah, you got that Chiefs-Bills 4:25 Eastern time game in Buffalo. And then Sunday night, maybe Washington can get back on track against Sam Darnold and the Seahawks. But we'll see. We also have to have the Arizona Cardinals in primetime on Monday Night Football. Don't know who made that choice. But it will be my favorite week of the season regardless because the Jets don't play. So I'm very much looking forward to week 9. Oh, we will find a damn way. I'm sure of it. So just wait and see whatever that could be. We'll discuss it. Talk to you next week. Goodbye.